And we are live. Guys, I'd like to welcome you to the Let's Talk Fishing video podcast. My name is Jay Angel, and I'm going to be your podcaster for this evening. Tonight, I have a very interesting guy, a guy who lives locally around here where I live. I love talking to the locals, man. A guy by the name of Jason Pittman, and I introduced him as a lifelong professional bass fisherman. Guys who have this much experience, I love talking to him. How you doing tonight, Jason?
Jay, I'm great, man. I appreciate you having me, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I just love to have you locals. Um, this fish looks like what, a 26, 27 incher?
Man, look, it had to be. I've caught some overs like on Lake Fork and stuff that were over 24, and post spawn fish definitely on would have probably pushed 9 pounds 2 months ago, month and a half ago. But I mean, just an absolute blessing, a gift to do it in a tournament, no less, was even better. with my dad there. So that was truly a memorable day, minus the arc that we probably should have built because it rained so much that day.
Oh yeah, you caught this in one of the worst storms we've had this year so far.
Definitely.
That was a horrible day.
Yeah, there wasn't much of anything dry, even in my boat compartments. It seemed like they've been airing out for the last 3 days. But I mean, Saturday morning, we had an hour probably of some let's not use the word decent. We had an hour of no rain at daylight, and
wow,
we catch a couple of small fish there, and then I guess about 7:38, somewhere in there, that front line blew through. I guess it was probably daylight for the Livingston Parish area where you are, and then by the time it got to the Mississippi Louisiana state line, it was roaring pretty good. And we actually I've only bailed out of the boat maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, and one of them was Saturday. We decided that, hey, we fixing to run this thing up on the bank, and we were fortunate there was a gazebo close by. We got up under there, still got wet, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been for sure.
Wow, your bilge pump couldn't keep up with it, huh?
Oh, absolutely not. It ran, I would venture to say the automatic bilge pump ran probably for 3 straight hours. It was that's the most rain I've fished in years. We used to do some crazy stuff, and odds are if it would have been doing that at daylight, I'm not sure we'd have pulled the boat out of the garage. But being the, I guess, junkies that we are for competition, and hey, man, there's a front coming. There may be a bass biting, so
there might be a bass biting.
Yeah, so that's how the day started, at least.
That almost reminds me of fishing Erie when you spear a wave. And both bilges are pumping them like mad, and you still have this much. I remember seeing, a foot of water coming down between the consoles.
And that's, from a safety standpoint, you're seeing a lot of these newer boats go to a valve plug to where you can actually turn it almost like a live well or fill or something like that, to where, if you're up on pad and you get a lot of water, you can actually pull or open your drain plug and let
it actuate it remotely. Huh?
Yep.
That's fantastic. Why didn't anybody think about that 30 years ago?
Yeah. Heck, even 10 years ago.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us what you caught this thing on?
So day started pretty normal. We were throwing buzz baits, topwater baits, like that. I think I probably had 7 rods on the deck, and I've gotten as there's obviously, everybody knows the forward facing sonar debate. Some people are on the fence. Some people think it's ruined it. Me personally, I just use it as a tool. I consider myself decent with it. By no means am I, elite level and can say, oh, that's a 2.5 pound bass. Heck, man, I can't tell a turtle from a fish sometimes. But I mean, that's just part of the learning curve. But probably midday, 10:30, 11 o'clock, not real sure, because it was raining so hard, and I fished most of the day with my head and with a hood over it, and hollered at my dad in the back of the boat when one of us needed the net. But for the most part, it was just one of those things. It was like the fish it just appeared on my live scope and wasn't even in the direction that we were fishing. We were just fishing down the bank, and next thing I know, I just happened to glance down at the live scope screen, and very fortunate Garmin has helped along the way, and I've got a 16-inch screen that helps a old guy like me actually see it better. So
yes.
So when I looked down there, and I was like, man, I couldn't really tell. I knew it was a fish, didn't know if it was a gar or a catfish or anything like that. And
that big, yeah.
Yeah, I grabbed my little minnow rod that I jig head minnow. It's just I think a 3/16 ounce primal jigs, which is made up Cliff Pace out of Petal, Mississippi.
Black label lures, yeah.
Yes, and actually had a black label high roller on it. I think it was the 2.8 or maybe the 3.5 that he makes, just a shad color. And man, I flipped it out there in front of him. I watched it sink, and I knew I had gotten it close to it, and the fish kind of spun around a little bit, acted kind of weird, like, man, it moved too fast to be a gar and too fast to be a catfish. And then I lost it on the screen, and about that time my rod he just dogged me, and I had I think it's on a 7-foot Cast King medium light jigging.
Medium light.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. When I leaned on it, I thought the tip was going to touch my hand back.
Yeah.
I thought the tip was going to come down, but I hollered for the net, and when I hollered for it, I still wasn't too sure, but I saw the fish kind of roll, and my first thought was just a big grinnell or a shoe pick, and I was like, man, that had too much head shake on it, and it didn't death roll like a shoe pick would. But when I looked back, I turned my head to holler at my dad again, to make sure he was coming with the net. And apparently the fish came up, and I felt it coming up, and I tried to get the rod down. Well, as soon as I did that, I guess the fish came up and did a somersault. Like, it came up and it didn't try to throw it. It just came up and flipped. And I heard my dad go, "Oh my."
Oh my.
And then when it went back down, I got it coming back again. And the next time it came up, he scooped it. And by the time it hit the middle of the boat down in the floorboard, we looked at each other, and I was like, man, I think that is a 6-pounder. My dad's like, man, that thing may be closer to 8. And obviously, growing up on Toledo Bend, my dad saw way more big fish than I did.
Oh yeah.
So it was one of those things. I hung it on a Bubba scale, and it was about 7.5 on the Bubba scale. And with the only regret we have that at that moment was the fact that it was raining so hard. It was just instinct to just grab the smallest one and throw it back and put him in there. But we realized after the fact, we called a fish that was 1.02 with a 768. And I mean, if I could have got a picture holding them, which I do have a picture holding them at the end of the day, and I think one of the fish in our hands is a 2-pounder, and it just makes it look like you better measure it to see if it's even 12 inches. I mean, it's just a phenomenal fish. I mean, there's not really much that can be said about it. Just a blessing for sure.
That is a blessing. I mean, to catch a fish that big.
Yeah, definitely.
That big. I mean, that is just incredible. That's wow.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it was, I mean, just from, everything that was involved, from the rain, and we joked about it. As soon as we put it in there, we went back to fishing, and I was trying to retie, and I couldn't. I was fumbling around, like, getting ready, pinning my corsage or whatever on, or something, like for a wedding. Just a nervous wreck, couldn't retie. And then we're like, man, the time is fixing to crawl by, because we wanted the day to be over right then. Like, let's go weigh them. I think we can win.
Yeah, let's go weigh them.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's a tournament one.
Yeah, there was another great bag of fish caught that day. And we joked about it after the fact. The second biggest stringer that I've seen was the same day as I caught the biggest stringer I've seen on that place. So it's I mean, I've been fishing that since 88, 80, 1988, 1989. So, and caught some decent fish. I think me and my son had a 3 fish limit in a tournament on a Thursday afternoon out there that weighed 3 fish. I think we had 1158 or something like that, which is 3 solid fish. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'd take them any day of the week, anywhere in South Louisiana. So, I mean, the potential is there. It's that particular place is one of the most stable places.
I love that water there because it's just a little tannin stained, and it's the clearest thing. It's the closest to clear water you're going to get in southern Louisiana.
Correct. It's almost like dark tea water. I don't want to use the word tonic, but it's a you don't want to use the word dirty clear either, but it's a clean water.
It does look a little bit tannin stained.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
It's got a little tea tint to it.
Right.
It's beautiful, man. Because guys, this is a beautiful place. It's on the Pearl River, and
the thing the cool thing about it is it's a lock and dam system that they made. I want to say in the 60s, maybe 70s.
60s, yeah.
And they used it to bypass the Pearl River in order to get barges up to the paper mill and things like that. So they just made it basically a straight shot, and they didn't have to run the sandbars or worry about different things. And I guess it was decommissioned probably in the mid-90s, maybe even earlier than that. And I believe the Corps of Engineers donated it to St. Tammany Parish government, and they actually maintain it. Beautiful boat launch at the end of Lock 1 Road.
Oh, so, yeah.
I mean, they've done a lot, and going north, then you've got obviously Lock 1 is at the base where you've got the West Pearl and a little bit of maybe 1.5 2-mile ditch that goes out to the main river. And once you get in the lock system, the Talasheet Creek comes into it. But going north further than that, around the bush area, you've got the Bogachitta actually cuts through it. And then the next lock up is the Bogalusa, the Pools Bluff area. So it's really Lock 1 area is the most stable because the other ones are kind of at the mercy of the Pearl. Like right now, with the Pearl being at flood stage and the Bogachitta being at flood stage, both Lock 2 and Lock 3 are they're blown out type deal. So if somebody's looking for some clean water and a great white perch place too. You could probably do some research and see some white perch catches on the old YouTube or Facebook.
I bet. Let me see. You were going to go through some of the products you brought. And guys, at the end of this, anybody who comments is going to be entered into a raffle, and Jason's going to be giving away some of his supporters' stuff.
Yeah, I've been super fortunate over the years. Fished my first professional tournament in '96.
Wow.
Yeah, long time ago. So I've aligned with some great people over the years. So yeah, anybody that's watching and want to get in on it, who knows? They may get anywhere from $50 to $100 box get delivered with some products that I've been fortunate and blessed, and we'll pay it forward a little bit. But yeah, anybody, man, this time of year, Jay, anybody that's going out looking for a bass, they're not going to eat a shad.
Oh yeah.
As long as the shad's swimming, he's swimming with one eye looking over his shoulder like, is a bass coming? Because a shad and a crawfish, I don't know how they live where bass live, because they've got to have anxiety. I don't know if they get medication underwater, but for a fact,
they are prolific breeders. That's how.
Yeah, that too, probably that too. So, but just this morning, I think I had 5 rods on the deck. One was a big glide bait, because I'm a sucker for a big glide bait bite, and I don't get many, but when you get one, probably going to be a good one for sure. But man, a buzz bait, a walking bait, a frog, anything like this. Like this buzz bait's actually made by Prototype Lures, and the neat thing about it is the fact that the blade actually clacks against the head. So as it spins, you can adjust it to where maybe you just want the blade to turn and just have that regular buzzbait noise.
Yeah.
Or you can bend that blade down a little bit and it'll slap the head and you'll hear a blade on lead type cluck, 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 click, click. So you can make it clack and come to you, or you can just make it regularly be a buzz bait. It's totally up to you. And I play with it from time to time. Like I may have it just tick it a little bit, and then other times if it's a little bit muddier, dingier water, I might want it to clack to make some noise. So between a buzz bait, a frog, another frog that we've been working on for a while from Prototype Lures is the Smasher frog. This is actually the
Smasher frog.
Yeah, the Smasher Pro. Man, it's a little bit heavier than what people are used to, but it's weighted just right to be able to walk super easy. A lot of people, will get a popping frog just so they can walk it kind of like a chug bug or something like that. But this is just a regular frog. I mean, we do have a popping frog too, but we've got the regular frog that's made will walk probably just as good as anybody, and a lot of it too is the user. So it doesn't take a lot of effort. Some baits you've got to sweep that rod tip to make it do this back and forth, but this one it's more of a steady little retrieve. But what I will do with that buzz bait from time to time, depending on what's going on, or if say the fish are short striking it, obviously, besides putting a trailer hook on a buzz bait, but I'll take the skirt off of them and put just a regular crawl. This is actually a Mr. Twister buzz bug, but it's just a white crawl, 4-inch white crawl that we will actually take and maybe pinch just a little bit off of it. But then once we do that, we're just running it. The actual claws will flap around too, but it kind of shortens the profile of the buzzbait up.
Okay.
It's just one of those things that 6 of one, half dozen of the other type deals. But it comes back to confidence too. I threw one this morning and threw a regular one, had 2 fish miss it, and then grabbed one that's got that particular Mr. Twister buzz bug on it, and next 3 fish, would they have eaten it good with the skirt on it? We won't know that because I picked the one up with the buzz bug on it, and I caught the next that bit. Didn't have a bite after that. So it was just one of those meant to be things. They were meant to come over the side of the boat this morning for sure.
I guess, and that's an interesting little bait you got there.
Yeah, it's man, I've been real fortunate. I think going on year 15, somewhere in there with Mr. Twister, and they've let me design some stuff. I mean, they're based in Northwest Louisiana, around.
Are they in North Louisiana?
Yes.
Because I remember using Mr. Twister back in the 80s, and man, we just used the original either white or black, because the black was great for walleyes, and the white we could catch smallmouth bass on, because I was living up in northern Michigan at the time when I was in the Air Force. And man, we didn't even call them, grubs or curly tails. We call them Mr. Twisters.
Yeah. Everybody just threw a twister, and they were. I don't want to use the word stale, but probably about 15 years ago, Daryl Laurent kind of started making a real good push and got with some guys. We've got some guys over on Lake Fork that do some testing, and we kind of revamped the whole line of excuse me, soft plastics. And for the longest time, they were the staple. Like they started it all back in the 60s and 70s and stuff, because like you said, a grub, you just threw a Mr. Twister grub or a curly tail, and
They really didn't have a name. They were Mr. Twisters. All of them.
He took that to the next level and, started coming out with stick baits and, just a regular soft plastic stick bait to, similar to the Cinco. I mean, the Cinco's I guess the upper echelon of it. That was the weight and everything else. But, one thing with Mr. Twister, they never had salt in their lures. So it was just a different type deal. Like if you were Carolina rigging it, people wouldn't realize that we were catching fish on these baits because they were riding a little bit higher on the Carolina rig. Or if you were Texas rigging them, they on the claws on them or something, they would float up better than one with salt. So it's been interesting, and about a year and a half ago started playing with some salt stuff. So now we're calling it the SI series, which basically salt infused.
Okay.
We've still got the regular Mr. Twister line. Like right now, we're starting to use the salt infused. I don't know. Can you read that color on there?
Boy, I can't. I don't have very good eyes.
I understand. That is actually Pitkin.
Pitkin. Okay.
Yeah. So we were joking about doing a color, and didn't know kind of what to name it. And then when we hit this right color, everybody's got a green pumpkin or like an Okeechobee crawl with a blue or, just something kind of laminate. But we went with a salt infused system, but we put the green, basically green pumpkin, and then on this side we did.
Look at that, man! You turned that into, like iridescents.
Yeah, we did orange and copper flakes in it. And so it was kind of like a pumpkin seed. And then Daryl's like, well, let's use your last name as half of it and the other, the pumpkin. So we did a Pitkin color. And, he kind of paid, I guess, homage to my dad and my son and everybody else that has helped them along the way. So it's a pretty special color, but it also catches some fish here and there too. So it's a great bait follow up to, if one blows up on the buzz bait or something like that, man, it is, it's one of those baits that I'll keep on the deck of the boat. If a fish blows up on it, I've done some of the YouTube videos where all I had was the buzz bait and that particular bait on the deck. And if I don't catch them on the buzz bait or they blow up on it, I throw that on a spinning reel in there, wacky rigged, and usually they'll hit it and take
you
off.
You can't go wrong with a wacky rig.
No,
not biting on wacky rigs, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say they're not biting because I'm sure somebody can figure it out. But
exactly,
that's what fishing tournaments taught me: is I'm not the best fisherman that ever has been.
No, it's not. I think what they need to rename tournament fishing to just humbling, because you could have the best game plan. I think what Mike Tyson said it best, where everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I mean, just for example, 2 weeks ago on Toledo Bend, there was a bunch of us up there fishing a nation tournament. It was a regional qualifier. And when I tell you, and please, nobody take this the wrong way, it looked like I was a chaperone at a high school and college event.
Yes.
And I am so happy to see these kids taking this path of, trying to excel and doing all this. Because, for 20 years, they've talked about, we need to grow the sport. And then all of a sudden this technology comes out and everybody's like, wait a minute, wait. We may be going.
Youngins can't be winning.
Yeah, we might be going too fast. So let's just hold off. But I mean, I've been so fortunate to see from the high school level to the college level. And Jay, when I tell you, I was debating on checking on my dental insurance because after that tournament, I felt like I just got my teeth kicked in. I had braces, growing up, but I thought I was going to need more because the plan I thought I had nothing on these, I'm going to use the word kids, because I think in the top 20, there were 2 high school anglers, kids that were young men that were still in high school fishing, and there was probably 7 or 8 college level guys that made the final day. And I mean, they're fishing these poikies with forward facing sonar, minnows with forward facing sonar. I knew a person or a co-angler that fished with one of them and said, man, if that dude probably made 45 casts in 8.5 hours.
Yep.
And all he was doing was staring at a sonar. And I'm all for it. If it's legal, use it.
And everybody criticized Daryl Gleason when he won a Bassmaster qualifier. Yep. You know, and he sat there on the same point and just watched.
Yep.
And something big came in, cast out.
Absolutely.
You know.
And the thing with it is not necessarily the high school guys, because obviously they've got to go to classes and things like that. But these college kids are unreal, because a lot of them are taking online courses. They'll take an online course and listen to the instructors, you know, whatever they call them these days. And on the way to the tournament. And then take a test from the tournament lake, as long as they got some life. And I mean, I am all for it. It is great. Hey, young.
He's like Levi Thibodeau. He's winning, man.
Yeah. It's a whole. Coach Charles up there at LSUS in Shreveport they've got it figured out. There's about 10 colleges, maybe 15 that have figured it out. I mean, Dylan and Carter Nutt. Dylan won the Bassmaster Classic. His brother Carter just won one of the MLF.
People want to criticize Dylan. He made it there through the Bass Nation, which is that's hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what's crazy. But I mean, it's just a whole new era, and I'm so happy. And I wonder, you know, I look back at it, and I wonder if we were those people when the Ken Cooks and the Rick Cluns were at their prime, and were they worried about us when we were coming up? But
of course they were.
I doubt it. Well, maybe not about me, but others. But
not about you, but they were worried about Kevin Van Dam when he started,
Exactly.
power fishing. Oh, he'll never do anything. How long is he going to be able to do that? Well, he's 58 years old and just retired.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I put his twin boys through college by donating to all the tournaments we fished together. Yeah. So
I've made donations myself, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just where the sport is at a great place if everybody can just get on the page of, hey, if you want to use it, use it. If you don't. And I totally get it. There's some organizations out there. You've got the NPFL that's fishing on Lay Lake next week that Cliff, Cajun Baby, a bunch of those guys.
Cliff Crochet's fishing that one, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's a no FFS, circuit. But that going into it. So you either accept it and be happy or move on type deal. It's everybody's got a sandbox. You just if you want to play with the toys that are in it.
Fishing, 1.5 foot of water where you don't need FFS in 1.5 foot of water.
No.
And guys like me and you who have 50 years of experience fishing, you know how to read water.
Right.
You know where the bass live, seasonal patterns, seasonal migrations, you know how to fish the pre-spawn, the post-spawn, the spawn, the time when they're coming, going, and staying. We just instincts, man. That's wisdom. It can only be learned by thousands of days on the water. But
there again, the technology has shortened the curve tremendously. Yep. We've got my middle daughter is huge into like racing and the road course, the Formula One stuff and all. And she's become friends with a couple of these drivers, a couple of them for Rafa Racing. That's a new team out of the Houston area. And we were actually with them in Atlanta last fall and asked one of the drivers, they went out for practice, and when they came back, we were in the pits, and said, man, he had like he was on the pole after a practice or qualifying, and I said, man, you look pretty comfortable. Have you ran this course a lot? He said, only on a simulator.
Whoa.
And it's the exact same thing with the bass fishing world that we're in now. These kids have
5 minutes left.
These guys have everything at their fingertips, technology wise. So it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal.
Well, would you like to make some shout outs?
Oh man, I appreciate it. Well, first of all, to you, buddy, putting this in. A lot of people may not know what goes on behind the scenes. This isn't just a, hey, you want to come do this type deal. I know just because from the industry that nobody sees the legwork that goes in. Nobody sees the conversations that are had. Or, I mean, let's be honest. I wasn't the easiest guy to get a hold to because I'm constantly
trying. The hardest either.
and I apologize for that too. But just getting people on the same page is probably the biggest thing. And just growing up, getting to do this fishing wise, family, probably the most important thing that you've got to put in front of the fishing. So I've had a great support system all through time. And actually, one quick thing, my dad actually started making this. It's a Grumpy's Go Getter. I'll let you figure out why it's called Grumpy, but
yeah,
it is actually a lure retriever.
Lure retriever. Oh, yeah, that's why they call it Grumpies.
Yeah. Well, no, the guy that makes it, kind of, but he's not all the time, but he looked at one time. It's actually got chain in it to grab the hooks, 30 feet of paracord on it, and you can spool it onto an old reel or something. It's got a coil system that the line actually goes through. I think I got too much of a glare. The line actually goes through the coils and it slides down and it'll knock your lure loose. Or if it doesn't get knocked loose, maybe the chains will grab the hooks and pull it loose. So very fortunate. But man, Jay, just over the years I know right before we went live, you talked about ICAST. I've been fortunate to go to ICAST for probably the last 8 years. I think we missed the COVID year because they didn't have it, but Kaisig, Ice Chest I'm not going to say made right here, but their headquarters is right here in Mandeville. So I get to do a lot of work with them, and just a whole slew, because it takes an army to try to do it from a financial standpoint, or professionally, stuff like that.
It does. And thank you very much, because it's not easy to provide a podcast with a different guest every week.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. There's some people that you would love to have on there, and it doesn't work out. I mean,
you just can't get them. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's got a wish list and things like that. But
that's why I always thank my guests, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to our guest here.
Yeah, man, that's no problem, man. I love to fish and love to pay it forward now. I didn't used to be like that. I was the cocky kid that was kind of loud and wanted to step on throats and stuff like that. But as I've gotten older, I realized the good old days are behind us, and we need to start keeping everybody happy.
Life humbled you.
It did, for sure.
I have been sufficiently whooped as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just because I thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread didn't mean anybody else did.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to. It's well said, man. That's well said.
Yeah. And I mean, same way with sponsors these days too. And we joke about it like, well, obviously I think I'm worth way more than y'all think. So it's been fun, man. We if anybody, man, get on YouTube and check out Bayou Outdoors with Jason Pittman. You can see Marucci takes care of me. They've got a beautiful boat wrap this year on my boat. Actually, we've had one the last few years, but we just changed up a couple of months ago. And it's man, it takes an army to stay afloat these days. And don't get me wrong, I love just to go fishing. Like I think tomorrow morning I'm headed towards Slidell. I'm not sure if I'm going to Bayou Lacombe, Bayou Liberty, Bayou Bonfacai, but I told my dad we're gonna leave about 5:15 in the morning. Let's go. So even if it's not a tournament, man, I want to go fishing somewhere.
Yeah. I wish I had that kind of freedom, but I still have to work a 40-hour-a-week job. Actually, now it's a 50-hour-a-week job.
Feels like you get paid for 30 of them. No, we won't go. No. Don't say anything.
Yeah, but I'm just in this day and age, I'm just blessed to have a job.
Yep, definitely.
Well, guys, man, it's 35 after the hour. That means that we're out of time. Once again, Jason, thank you so much for coming on. And Norman Hightower, thank you so much for commenting. Gary Bourne, you were the one who commented the most, so we're going to give you. I'm going to be texting Gary about that, and we will get you Gary's
Yep, absolutely. We'll get something over. Definitely get in the mail by early next week for sure.
I'd like to thank everybody. We'll have that in the mail by next week, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning into the Let's Talk Fishing podcast. Remember, I run a podcast, guys. I want you to watch my podcast, but I'm going to tell you, we can fine tune your fishing. We can give you some tips, but there's no excuse or there's no substitute for time on the water. Anyways, with that, I'm going to end the podcast. Thank you very much. Jason, please stick around for a minute. I'd like to talk to you after the podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.